Good morning.
Go ahead, man. I'm sorry. You go, man. Go.
Good morning.
Go.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, I love it.
Good evening.
Yes.
Welcome back to yet another.
Welcome.
Back.
Come on, you got to do it. You got it.
Welcome back.
Boom.
Welcome.
No, bro. Welcome back to another Whiskey and Insurance podcast, guys.
Absolutely.
We must be slap happy because what is it again? It's 6:30 in the morning.
Well,
We're back here again
yeah.
with another 6:30 whiskey. So
Dangerous territory.
Yep.
For sure.
We just love that. You know, what's life?
we love to bring you content early.
Hey, because we got to work the rest of the day, but
Let's have fun, baby.
let's have fun.
Let's have
we
fun.
sure do.
So, Luke,
Yes,
what do we have today?
we have a nice bourbon
Okay.
from Vail because I was in Vail last week.
Oh,
Really?
I'm in Vail Village. I'm walking around doing, with shops with the family.
Okay.
So, lakes running around. My son's Lake, for those that don't know. He's running around all over the place. I'm trying to keep track of him. And we just happened in on this place called 10th Mountain Whiskey.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, this is perfect.
We need that.
I said, I got to get a bottle, bring it back. from Vail.
Yeah.
So, 10th Mountain Whiskey. It's at the bottom. It's right in Vail Village.
Okay.
For those that want to be able to if you're in Vail and you're looking for a place to go, try some different bourbons, try some different whiskeys. They got a bunch of things there, so that was kind of cool. But Vail's a beautiful place, especially this time of year. I tell you what, it was 70 degrees.
Oh, wow.
It was sunny during the day, so it's like where you wear a t-shirt, it's cool enough to where you're wearing a t-shirt and
Love
jeans
that.
or shorts, and it's just like the perfect weather.
Yeah.
And then at nighttime, you got to have a little jacket, you got to have a coat on. You're wearing, little
vest.
vests.
Yeah.
So that part is the most beautiful part about Colorado this time of year.
Yeah.
How was the altitude for you?
Altitude was good.
Yeah.
Lake, he did a good job.
Yeah.
My son, he did a good job until we started coming down from the mountain. And when you're coming down that mountain, 2 hours up, and it's pretty hard on the ears.
Absolutely.
The little ones. But my daughter, Brooklyn, she did fine.
She was a champ.
Yeah, she was a champ. She slept the whole way.
Shout out, baby Brooklyn.
Even friggin' when I went to Washington
Yeah.
not too long ago for a wedding, I mean, we were just driving and my ears were hurting.
Yeah.
We just go up and down.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, they're like, you all right? I'm like, bro, I live in the middle of a cornfield.
I'm not used to this.
We don't have no elevation.
No.
Yeah,
None
I
of that.
tell you what, a lot of people don't know also how to just drive in the mountains. That's
Right.
another thing. Going up and down the mountains, you're fluctuating elevation and everything.
Yeah.
I remember a couple years ago, it was my first time renting a car myself.
Big boy.
And I had a Dodge Charger or something like that they gave me. And my wife and I were going up there. We're going to stay at a house with my family, and they rented a house out. And we were getting in there late one night. So it's probably 11 o'clock at night because we got into Denver at 9.
Right.
And I kid you not, as we're coming down, we're going up the mountain, but there's periods of going up the mountain where you're doing this. Okay. And I couldn't figure out how to slow this dang car down. I'm on the highway, and I remember looking over to my wife, and I was like, oh my God, like
Heart
you're
racing.
You're heart racing, you're white knuckling and everything. And I'm like, man, because I knew you can't just
Right.
ride your brakes. I knew that part.
Yep.
But I wasn't physically thinking, I need to manually shift this and put the stress on the transmission and not the brakes. But I could feel my brakes were getting hot, so I wasn't riding them. I just was like, we're just going to
go.
keep flying.
Yeah.
We're going to go 95 down the hill and around the curves and everything until I
Man.
finally learned, you got to really put the stress on the manual transmission and bump that sucker low so you'd be in gear 4, gear 5,
Right.
and that'll help keep your speed at 70. So, fun fact. If
We
you
just
guys,
dropping all jewels.
Yeah.
We are.
Hey, baby.
if you don't know how
Now
to
you
drive
do.
in the mountains, put this stress on the transmission. All right, Just don't hit the brakes
Absolutely.
all the way down.
I love
Don't
it.
do it. All right. Tell us about the whiskey.
So this one's got a cool story. We just love to bring you whiskeys that are around the military and the army.
Man.
As you can see on this one, that is an army guy with a gun and everything on the front.
Yep.
So I like that.
You got a bazooka.
Yeah, it looks like a bazooka, that's for sure. But
It's a big
this division was called the 10th Mountain Division.
Cool.
So they were created and active in 1943 to 1945. And if you guys know anything about the significance of those dates, we're talking World War II. And as we're in World War II, you know, in Europe, in Eastern Europe, cold, you're dealing with cold, brutal conditions. You're dealing with mountains. You're dealing with snow. And what does Colorado have? It has all those things.
Yep.
So this division was in a place in Camp Hale, which had been at a wedding at Camp Hale. Shout out to Camp Hale. Beautiful spot in Camp Hale. But it's about 22 miles west of Vail.
Okay.
Is where Camp Hale's at.
Okay.
And it's got a gorgeous spot, so you can do like wedding venues there and fly fish and take 4-wheelers on their grounds and all kinds of stuff now.
Sounds fun.
But that's where they had it. And back then, the government was creating the camp. They spent like $10 million
Wow.
so that they could hold a camp there for the military.
That's a lot of money.
So that was kind of cool. But in November of 1939, 2 months after World War II broke out, they needed essentially what was called soldiers on skis. They needed armored men that were soldiers on skis. So they were able to go recruit these guys from Vail
That's kind of sick.
that were used to skiing.
That's kind of sick.
So that's what they did. And so this division, they went over to Italy. They were in Italy. They're in the mountains and the Swiss Alps and everything. And they are fighting the Germans.
Wow.
And they ended up putting the team on their back, you know, going over there.
Heck yeah.
And they ended up defeating the army and forcing the German army out of that area. And as we all know, you know, World War II was a long war, but we ended up winning that war. But they were one of the more significant pieces of World War II because they were known as the soldiers on skis.
That's talent.
So we got soldiers on horses.
Yep,
and then we got soldiers on skis.
Yep,
Man.
sure do.
We're just bringing everything.
Everything.
So
That's awesome.
Yep,
That's sick.
it was super cool to kind of just hear that and everything from this bottle of whiskey.
Yeah.
And what was really neat is, you know, this, I'm trying to find it here, how many people were a part of this division. I'll tell you here because it had like their casualties. There was about 1,000 casualties.
Okay.
I think they had about 9,000 that actually were known as soldiers on skis. It's got to be in here.
Oh, so they had quite a few.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
not. That's
Yeah.
a lot.
Okay. So not 9,000. Total battle casualties 4,072. Wounded in action 3,100. Killed in action 992.
Oh wow.
They had 28 prisoners of war, and there was, let's see here, how many were there? It didn't say how many, but if there was 4,000 casualties, you know, you had quite a few more that were part of this division. But what was really neat about this, where I was going with this, is most of the people that were a part of this 10th Mountain Division then went on to start most of the ski resorts that we all know today that were owned and operated by the military guys that came out of the 10th Mountain Division.
That's
in
pretty cool.
Colorado.
That is
So
cool.
you go to Vail, you go to Breckenridge, you name it. Most of all those ski resorts owned and operated by the military guys out
That's
of the 10th Mountain
sick.
Division.
That
Makes
is
sense.
actually really cool.
That is.
So.
That's a dope.
Man,
that's a
talk
dope
about-
story.
Man, just imagine you're going skiing and then some random dude comes up to you, hey, we need you to literally go fight for this country on skis.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's a different type of commitment.
But see,
you know?
if you think about it though, and honestly, like, think about how much quicker they probably were than the average like German soldier.
I mean,
Because they could just get past them.
Absolutely, and you got to be pretty athletic.
Yeah, literally. Like,
You
you're
know.
just over here shooting people on a run.
Yeah, you got to that sounds like a video game, is what it sounds
Literally.
like.
You know, it reminds me of the there's a race that's like that. They had to shoot the shotgun and ski and stuff.
And
like
do everything like that.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
crazy.
I just think it's crazy because I was sitting here reading this too from the story, but you know how like harsh mountain conditions are, especially in the winter.
Yeah.
I mean, the Italian army had a disastrous. They lost 25,000 men. The Italian army did just from not being prepared to be in the mountains.
It's like just from like
So
freezing
just
cold.
freezing cold temperatures, falling off the mountain. We're talking snow.
Yeah.
You know, they're just not ready to be from, you know, live in the mountains. And winter is very harsh on the Army side because, you know, it's not like you can just pack all this warm stuff. You got to carry everything you pack when you're in the Army.
Yeah.
You have an entire rucksack, but that's about it. You know what I mean? And
like
it's,
you just go
it's
back to the
about
crib and
75
grab one.
pounds. Yeah, you can't just go back and say, oh, I need some more clothes that are not wet.
Yeah,
right?
literally.
Or some new boots that don't have snow in them.
Yeah.
You don't have that.
Yeah, I
And
guess they were adapted to all of that.
so.
live in
That's
Colorado.
the really cool part is, you know, these guys were meant, they're like you know, the U.S. was like, hey, we know we need this.
Yep.
Right.
You guys are meant to go fight in the mountains over in Europe and win us a war.
Yeah, it's so sick.
And, you know, I'm sure it would be scary because these guys are just used to skiing.
Yeah.
Right. Like
But,
now I
you
gotta
know,
shoot people.
Yeah. But, you know, back then, it's World War,
Yeah.
right? I mean, there's a lot of people that signed up for that. There a lot of patriotism that went on. And so shout out to everybody that was in the 10th Mountain Division because you guys were a very pivotal part to us winning World War II. So
Absolutely.
thanks
That's
for defeating
awesome.
the Germans.
Yeah.
Isn't that true?
Absolutely.
So
Let's get into it.
should we open up this bottle?
Yes, sir. Let me get that ice while you open it up.
All right. Yeah, and hey, we have a new scenery
Yeah, we do.
once again.
Yeah, we do.
I think
do you
this
think we'll
is
have technical difficulties open this one up like we did last time, or
maybe. I don't know. There seems like there's an edge.
it seems like there's a little perforated edge, but here, you want to give that a shot?
I can give it a shot. But yeah, guys, I think this area or this room, let us know how you think about it, but I think this might be one of our main
Should we do
spots.
this one or should we do the other conference room? I mean,
Yeah. Should we do this one or the war
let us know in the comments or in our DMs.
the war
What-
room?
Yeah, do you like the war room or do you like the other conference room? Isn't that hard, man?
Well, it's like a
I thought it was perforated, but it's
really not.
yeah.
Sorry guys. It's all right, Mark's getting the ice.
You know what this will probably be a good time for is we could do a pause for our sponsor.
Pause and do our sponsor.
For Apollo. Apollo, our sponsor, can come on in here. Thank you guys for watching.
We want to shout out our sponsor, Apollo Insurance Group. They are one of the largest health insurance brokerages out of the Midwest. They specialize in health, life, dental, vision, a lot of the things you need in regards to insurance they have. So they typically save their clients a lot of money in regards to their premium. So if you don't have someone that's helping you or aiding you through this process or this chaotic world of health insurance, please reach out to them. They fight for you, they specialize in what they do, and they're great at their job.
Thanks for tuning into the sponsor, Apollo. Shout out to them for allowing us to be able to do this, afford the space, utilize the spaces that they have here. And then, wow, that was good. We gotta do that by the mic.
Please get it right, man.
Boom.
That's what I'm talking about.
That one
nice.
probably was the best one.
That was
Yeah.
nice. That was nice.
The last one you couldn't really hear.
I know, because we had to put a deafening on it because everybody in the background was doing the at Macadoodles.
Wow.
I heard that pour too.
Yeah, that was good.
Good stretch all the way. Ooh,
Like that.
That was good.
that was fire. That was fire.
I hope they can hear that.
Yeah, wouldn't that be nice?
That would be so nice. Wow. All
Yours
right.
is kind of a little bit more than everyone else is there. You got a little. You feeling some type of way today? Huh?
No.
I mean, look at that.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Jeez. Don't do too much. All right.
Yeah, that's good.
Is that good?
Yeah.
All right.
Put it in the camera. Put it in the camera.
Boom.
All right. We
Show
know the
the
routine.
camera.
What we do.
I should show the camera.
Yeah, show this one right here that's closer to you. Yep. Boom.
Did we talk about the value of the bottle?
We haven't talked about the value of this bottle.
Okay. We'll get
Oh,
to
yeah,
it.
yeah,
We'll
yeah.
get to it.
Yeah.
So it is 92 proof.
92.
So 46% alcohol volume.
Is that what is that in our ranking?
92
That's
proof.
the lowest we've done so far.
No.
Yes.
Is it?
Yep.
I thought
94.
Remus was
94.
Remus was 94. Yeah,
Yep.
this is the
All
lowest.
right, it's the lowest.
Yep. So they have multiple bourbons and whiskeys that they had there. This one, so they had a $44 value one.
Mhm.
They had a $60 value one. They had brandy for $30. They even had moonshine.
Oh wow.
We might have to. We might have to
back
try
in the
some
day.
moonshine.
Their moonshine was $25, and then they had a single malt whiskey that was $80. So they had one that was what I'd consider their premium one. I didn't get that one, but to be honest with you, it's because of the flavors. I didn't.
So have you tried this?
I have not tried it.
But you knew the flavor. You know the flavors.
Yep.
Got it.
That shows you the flavors and the notes that they had in there. And I thought this one, which was the $59.99, so the $60 value one.
Good.
So
Good bottle. Good value bottle. Yeah.
Not bad at all.
I really liked the flavors on this one,
Okay.
based on what it was saying.
Fire.
The other one, I will say, the single malt whiskey had notes of chocolate, which would have been interesting to have tried.
Oh, wow.
But I
See
didn't, I didn't do that.
I don't.
But I was like thinking chocolate whiskey.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Like peanut butter whiskey is really good.
Yep.
Might have to do that screwball.
Yep.
Ooh.
But this one, I
Jinx.
was, that is, you owe me a soda or something.
You two are
Whatever
silly,
that's
man.
saying. All right. So.
Smell it. Let's smell it.
Whoa.
I smell a lot of flavors right now.
Dude, my nostrils are.
I smell
just
a lot of flavors
blooming
right now.
Right now.
All right.
Yeah, I'll be curious what you guys think of this.
Y'all ready to toast?
Okay.
Do it, Luke, because you failed to do it last time.
Because I took a sip first
Yeah.
for the last
Yeah, I've never living that down.
Okay. Whiskey for the soul.
Insurance for the wallet.
Oh my lord!
That hits you pretty good, though.
But like,
But
a
it's-
smooth.
there's like, I'm gonna say this
I
right now.
No. I'm saying it first. No.
What is it?
Vanilla's definitely in here.
Okay, I wasn't gonna say that.
It's in here.
I was gonna say there's nodes of caramel that soothe
Okay.
the palate.
We're getting better at it.
getting
Every
so
episode
good
we're
at
getting
it.
it.
Hey,
Vanilla
by the
is 100% in here.
That's what I'm talking about, baby.
Hey, come on, give me some.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
caramel is not in here.
What? You were wrong. You were wrong. Okay. All right.
Taste that again.
let's
Taste
keep
that again and
guessing.
tell me
Let's
that's
keep
not.
guessing.
There's not caramel. It's like a caramel apple, dude. It's literally like a caramel apple.
No.
I even
I don't
I
taste
taste it
it.
because I know what's in here. But
butterscotch.
It's almost like Coke, like cocoa.
If you about to say coconut,
You know,
I'm gonna
cocoa.
slap you.
I was saying cocoa.
no cocoa. There's
Hold on.
There's one other one. There's two. And there's three more flavors in here specifically on this bottle.
Is it a fruit?
right.
Is it fruit?
There's got to be at least one cherry or something, some kind of stone fruit.
Stone fruit. Yo, what's wrong with you, man?
Slap happy, bro.
Stone fruit.
I didn't get enough.
I like that. I like that.
There is no stone fruit. Think what's in almost every whiskey that we've done so far. Think of that. Think very basic. Think wood specifically.
Oak.
Okay, oak.
Oak.
Yep.
All right.
So there's oak hint and oak that's part of this. From
What
the
is it aged in? What is the barrel? Do you know?
barrel. It doesn't say. I
Okay.
could probably look it up and find out.
Just curious how long, because I know this bottle in particular is 2 years, because it has it on the bottle.
Okay, we got oak. We have vanilla. We have. Was that the only two that
Nothing
we
else
got?
That's
because
only two that you
apparently
got.
there's no freaking caramel or apples.
Or no stone fruit.
Or any stone
Or
fruit.
stone fruit.
Stone fruit.
Okay. All right, Luke, give it to us. What I can't. I don't know.
I'm done. I can't.
You guys said butterscotch, but it's honey.
Yo, freaking honeydew.
Every single time we say honey, and today we did
It's
not.
wrong. And it's just wrong every time. So I was like, I'm not gonna say it again.
Dude. Okay.
All right, here's the
All right.
Here's the
Then there's one more that is very prevalent, which you will taste. I think I get it in the aftertaste.
He's gonna say like marshmallow or some shit.
toasted nuts.
I was close, but yes.
Nuts, I
Toasted
wouldn't have
nuts.
guessed. I wouldn't have guessed that. I wouldn't have guessed. All right.
So that's Yeah, I get that in the after flavor. Whenever it goes down and you like still have a little bit on the tongue.
Yeah.
I get the toasted nuts on it.
I like that. That's a nice combination.
See, here's the thing about this bottle. Whoa. Okay, never mind. Well, I'll get into that in the rating.
Yeah, don't speed it up. Don't speed the process.
I'm just excited.
Wow. All right. Well, let's get to it. We know what's next. Let's get to the rating.
I'll wait to do my rating last.
Okay.
Because I got the bottle. I knew the story. It's out in the mountains. It's out in Vail. But I think you'll be shocked at my rating.
Okay. Okay. You know what? I'll go first.
You going? Okay.
Yeah, I go first.
You go get him, big dog.
Big dog.
I like dog. Yo, let me rate it. I really like it. I mean, it's smooth. It's not as harsh as Horse Soldier. When I tasted it, it reminded me of Horse Soldier a little bit. And I don't know, maybe that's an Army thing. Maybe they're making them kind of similar.
That bullet.
Yeah. But it was not as harsh as the Horse Soldier.
Right.
So it was a lot smoother. The taste was nice. I can taste all of the notes that I need to taste. So I really enjoyed it. I would say the story, it's pretty cool. I like the story a lot. So for me, I'm going to do...
What's he doing?
I'm going to do like a 7.5.
Okay.
That's what it gets for me.
7.7.
What?
I'm gonna get it 7 and 7.5.
Okay.
You know, because I'm not gonna lie. I enjoy it. I like the taste. It's a good whiskey. But again, Remus is my number one.
Remus, I will say, is still number one.
Remus is my number one. Check out the last couple episodes. Remus is on there.
The very last episode.
Yes.
Actually, yeah, it is last week.
Yeah.
Was Remus.
Yes.
So by far the best one.
That's my rating. You go.
Yeah. So about this bottle, I love it.
Really?
I seriously can say this is one of the better whiskeys I've tried.
Wow.
Because whenever you said each note, I literally tasted each one. And it's not like that in every whiskey.
That's respect.
You know what I mean?
That's respect.
It comes down to the price for a $60 bottle, and you can taste every note. They're doing something special over there.
Yep.
Shout out.
The 10th Mountain Whiskey up in Vail.
I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah, I tell you what, whenever you go through and you say each one of those, like the toasted nuts,
you can
the
taste
vanilla, you can 100% taste it.
I knew vanilla was in there.
Yeah.
I knew it.
So, for my rating, 9.3.
Wow. That's Talbot's highest one.
9.3.
You're throwing it that high.
Dude, I mean, here's the thing. I did Horse Soldier, right?
Yeah.
I thought it was good because of the story. This story, they're doing the same thing, but on skis.
So it's the story for you.
It's a story, but also
It's the story for you.
Like this, like you said, it brings me back to Horse Soldier, but you can drink it easier.
Yeah.
Like you can legit
Horse
sip
Soldier
this.
being 120, I'm not going to lie. Like when the guy said it hits you like a bullet,
It does.
it hits you like a bullet.
Just
Absolutely.
warning, if any of you have bought it or are going to buy it, it hits you hard.
Yeah, beware.
But it's good.
But you can taste the
good
butterscotch.
Absolutely.
That part was my favorite part of that whiskey was the butter. I still talk about that to this day.
Yes.
And we're over a month.
Yeah.
It's over a month.
We 5 whiskeys later.
But I'm curious. 9.3.
Okay.
See, for
That's
me-
pretty high for you.
That's very high.
I love the story.
Okay.
I like everything about this. I was one, it just happened in on this place. I wasn't even trying to find a whiskey. Just happened to go in on this store, which is
even better.
fun, which is fun. But I don't like the aftertaste of toasted nuts.
Ooh. See, that's where we differ. I think it's so good.
And every single time I take a sip of this, it makes me. I love the first flavor, the first couple flavors, but that toasted nut flavor is just, it's not vibing.
You don't like it.
It's just so good.
I respect that.
And see, like, it just makes my, ugh.
Really?
That's what it makes me do.
Yeah.
Not going to lie.
It makes me. Yeah.
So I'm going to go with the reason why I'm going to go with a higher rating is not because you guys went higher, but because I can taste the flavors, but I think that would value to certain people.
For sure.
Just for me and the toasted nuts, it's just not vibing.
Right.
Like it's just like, you
Which,
know what
yeah.
I mean? So like, I'm sure there's people that don't like butterscotch.
Yep.
I
Right.
love butterscotch.
Right.
So like for me, that one was way higher because I think butterscotch just got a more sweet of a flavor.
For sure.
The toasted nuts, for whatever reason, I don't know what it. But do you guys taste it? Am I the only
Absolutely.
one?
No, absolutely.
Okay.
I do. And the aftertaste, and I
It's
love
just
it.
kind of like
Yeah.
for me, and I'm gonna go with a 6.5.
Ooh, wow, that's pretty low.
That was the lowest one today. 6.5 out of this.
And like we always say, that does not mean it's a bad whiskey. That is
I
completely
mean, I
our
could
values.
change it. I could change it to a 7. I could go up a half.
I mean,
half
it
a
doesn't
point.
matter. It's whatever you
But-
think.
But I mean, in my opinion, I can't get past the toasted nut flavor.
There you go.
I mean, think
And
about
it's
it though.
not wrong with
But I value the whiskey because you can taste it.
Absolutely. Well, that's what I was saying.
You know
like,
what I mean?
And that's why I
Like,
said
we've
they're coming out.
What was my lowest one? 6.9. So I got to go with a 7 then, because I like this bourbon, this whiskey better than that one. Because the reason why I didn't like that one is because I couldn't get any of the flavors.
Yeah.
This one I get the flavors,
But you don't like the
I just don't
aftertaste.
like that. I just
See,
don't like
that's
the
why
aftertaste.
mine's a 9.3 because I literally
love
love
the
the
toasted
toasted nut.
That's crazy. We're all on different ends of the spectrum.
And that's what I
You're
like
high.
about
I'm in the middle.
Yep.
He's a little right there with me
Right.
as well.
So if you guys do go get this bottle or buy this bottle, comment your rating
Yeah.
on the
Please.
episode. Like I think that would be cool.
I'd be
Like, to know.
curious what other people think of the toasted nut flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Legit.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is fun for us. We enjoy doing this, and we want you guys to do it with us as well. You know, so drop in the comments. You know what you like, what you want us to try,
Right.
and things like that. We're excited to do that for
We
you all.
did get one recently. I'm trying to remember. I know which one it is. You'll be getting Angel's Envy for the future.
Oh yeah.
Somebody did comment
That was
Yeah.
one of my friends. Shout out
Yeah.
Evelyn.
Yeah.
She's from Ireland, so
Yeah.
she knows.
Oh, she knows her
whiskey.
stuff.
She knows
Yeah.
her whiskey.
That's gonna be.
You
good.
know
That's
that
gonna be
that
good.
says something. I don't know if Angel's Envy is Irish whiskey, but we
It's
should
not.
do an Irish
We should
whiskey.
do an Irish whiskey.
We got a special.
Ev,
we
if
got-
you're
we got a
watching
lot.
this, you
Drop
better
us
give us
our
a good
best-
Irish whiskey.
Yeah, drop us your best Irish
Yep.
whiskey.
All right,
We'd love to try it.
let's get
One
after
more.
one more toast and let's
One more
get to
toast.
business.
Whiskey for the
For
soul.
souls.
Insurance for the wallets.
It's just so good.
Yeah, it's every single time, man. That toasted nut flavor
It is
for me.
just so good.
for me.
Every time.
That's fair.
As soon as it goes in, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna like this, and
Yeah.
then I swallow, and almost immediately toasted nut flavor.
I
I'm just
mean,
like,
but that's the thing though. You,
I
I
hear
don't know.
you.
That's what I like about it.
Yeah.
Because I can like taste every note
Yeah.
when it goes down.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's like toasted nut. You're like, wow,
yeah.
fire.
Yeah.
Let's
It's like a
get
cash-
to
it's like
it.
a cashew almost.
It is. It really is.
It-
It brings it all out.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right, Luke,
Okay.
you tell us what we talking about today.
What are we talking about today?
We are talking about leadership. No, we're not.
Not at all. We're
Cut it.
not.
No, not at all. Cut it. Cut it. What the hell are we talking about?
We're talking
Shit.
about fast growth.
Fast
hyper
growth, hypergrowth in an organization.
In an
You say it, you
organization
got
and
it.
how that works. So
Uh-huh.
You got it?
What?
You gonna say it?
yeah, it's fine. Just
Go ahead.
whatever. Who
Go
doesn't
ahead.
matter.
Yeah. We good?
Yeah, you're good.
Ask him
Start
again.
talking.
Just say it.
He'll cut
No,
that out.
I'll just go.
Okay.
So I'll say we can get to the okay. We're talking about today. We're going to talk about hyper growth in an organization, in a company, what that looks like, what it looks like to be a part of that, what it looks like for us as work agents to grow in that and to see that.
Yeah.
So that's what we'll talk about today, and hopefully we can get some different views and things like that
Yeah.
from all sides.
Yeah.
I think it'd be good.
Yeah, I think from a fast growth, like if you find yourself in a fast growth company or a hyper growth company,
Yeah.
we've had 400% year over year growth since probably 2017, something like that. I mean, we've had, some years that are lower, some years that are higher, but
Right.
we've, had a very high average of hyper growth since 2017. Every year we've been on Ingram's Magazine for a Corporate 100 report, Kansas City Business Journal, Inc. 5000 regionally and nationally.
Yes, sir.
Which is fastest growing 5,000
We
companies
love
in
that.
the U.S., which is fun in all
Absolutely.
industries, not just insurance. This is all industries across the board.
Yes.
But it also presents what a lot of people they see the glamour of that. They see how exciting it is. Like you've got a lot of growth,
Yep.
but they also don't see the challenges.
You don't see how hard it is.
It's very hard. And not to toot anyone's horn or what Apollo is or isn't doing. There's a lot of things that we could change and do better. Absolutely. I'm a firm believer of that. You can always continue to do way better than what you're currently doing. There's always room for growth.
Never stop growing.
And being willing to change is another thing. Being open to change. And that's one of the things that a lot of people aren't open to is change. You bring up change, it's fear. It really is. And one of the things that my dad Scott has instilled, I feel like, in our organization is to embrace change, which I think from top down is really exciting. And we carry that forward, I feel like, as an organization, because we know that he values that a lot. And then secondly, from a fast growth, hyper growth company perspective, we've had to bring up leaders that maybe are younger, aren't particularly ready for leadership, but we're like pushing their growth. We're pushing them to levels that they maybe weren't prepared for or ready for. That includes myself. I'm a younger leader within the organization. Yeah. You're a younger leader within the organization.
Absolutely.
And do we make mistakes? 100%. If you aren't willing to make mistakes, Kobe Bryant always said this too, and I view it to the same thing as business and making mistakes, but you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Absolutely.
If you aren't willing to make mistakes in business, that's a shot, in my opinion.
You just won't make any more money.
Yeah.
You won't make the big bucks.
You can't grow. You can't give other opportunities to people like yourself, to people like Rods, who's behind the camera. Shout out to Rods.
Shout out Rods.
Yep.
Appreciate you, brother.
And
shout out to boy.
I think that from a business growing perspective, those are the biggest challenges when you're in a fast growth company.
Yeah.
So one of the things I would tell you is if you find yourself in a company that's growing really rapidly or growing a lot, is don't be afraid to take the step forward to take on more, and it may or may not mean additional money right then and there.
Yeah.
Right.
But I can't even begin to describe to you the amount that certain leaders have done where they have come and stepped up into our organization. Guys like Jared Boyette, who's our director of sales.
Yeah.
Guys like yourself, Mark, that have stepped up and done things like you've been what I call a Swiss Army knife. You're a lot like myself because he's done everything in the business.
I mean, he's been in 5 different
group to U65, you name it.
Literally.
And when you're willing to do that, but guess what? He didn't get paid any extra money to do those things.
Right.
But it pushed his leadership. It pushed his overall personal growth as an insurance agent.
Also goes back to our core values: sacrifice.
Yep, you've got to be willing to sacrifice. So if you find yourself, the reason why I say that, is not that whenever you step up to the plate in a fast growth company, it doesn't necessarily mean more money. Right then and there.
It's in the long run.
It's in the long run.
Even a startup company. I mean, that's something that you have to see in a startup company.
Yep.
Like I went to dinner with one of my friends last night. Her name is Mackenzie Nunn, but she went over to AMP, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they started the fitness thing.
Yeah.
And she is the head trainer, but it's a startup company.
Yeah.
Like they don't have tons of clients. They have a good clientele.
Yeah.
But it's not like she's making a stupid amount of money because it's a
She's
startup.
there for the long run.
She's there for the long run. She sees the growth. She sees the future.
She sees the vision.
The vision.
Absolutely. And that's what I think is so pure when you're in an industry or in any company.
That's why one of the things that we always talk about as an organization. So if you're a leader of an organization, I tell this. I mean, Mark's gonna hear this. And he's like, "Man, you say that all the time to your leaders." Vision leaks. So if you're not willing to always continue to harp on what the overall vision is of the company, then your agents or your employees or whoever that you're leading, the people you're leading, that vision's leaking. And that vision is not being seen because you're not continually bringing it up.
Yeah.
So when vision leaks, then the overall organization, in my opinion, is suffering.
Yeah.
So when you bring up, what'd you say, Mackenzie?
Yes, Mackenzie.
She sees the vision, and I guarantee it's because Austin is Austin.
I was some pace.
I guarantee it's because he is continually pushing or pitching the vision of what he believes AMP can grow into.
Absolutely. And also, it's one of those things where he's a young leader like yourself. You know what I mean? I don't think he's any older than you. And it's just having faith in the people below you to help you out. And that's what you have. You know what I mean? Like you have faith in all the leaders and the salespeople.
Yep.
anybody at the job, honestly, to help you grow the company the way you want it to grow, to expand.
Yeah, I think that you hit a perfect point. Apollo has not done anything. I bring up Apollo, but you could make this any successful organization. Apollo's not done anything without the people.
Yep.
That's the harsh and brutal reality. And every single person at Apollo has helped make Apollo what it is today.
Yeah.
And that's a fact.
Yeah.
Like you have a part in making Apollo who Apollo is. With your clients that you have, that you represent, that you speak to, they get Apollo's mission statement, our values. They get that through speaking with you. Yep. All of Christian's clients and vice versa. You go around all the table. You got 100+ people. That's what makes Apollo what Apollo is today. And that's across the board, no matter what organization you're in, it's way bigger than one person, 3 people, 2 people, you name it. It's the entire organization and the leadership of that organization knowing to surround yourself with people that sometimes are better than you in other areas. Not sometimes. They should be.
Right.
Like one person can't do everything.
Right.
Correct.
You've got to be able to bring people that have talent in other areas. Like you want to be able to bring your own talents to the table, but where you're weak in, and you need to be able to know where you're weak in from a leader's perspective.
Yeah.
Surround yourself with people who are strong in your weaknesses.
For sure.
And then your whole organization will continue to blossom, guaranteed.
Absolutely.
If you give people the runway to run.
Absolutely. And I think it's been special for us just seeing it and being here from day one and seeing it grow and grow rapidly like it has. It's been really a blessing to see and be a part of. Yeah. And you really have to take a step back and really, you don't just join a company and then when they start to be successful and you really join a company because you have to line up your beliefs and your goals, right, with that company's beliefs and goals. Yep. Because if they're not aligned, we're not going to get to the end goal, right, which is the success of the company, but also the success of yourself. Yep. So, anybody that's out there that's looking for a company or looking for, whatever, make sure that your beliefs and your goals align with that company. When I started working at Apollo, I fell in love with the mission statement, which was to positively impact people's lives. And so that was out of the gate. That was expressed to me. That was explained to me. And, a lot of people have mission statements and, they put it on a piece of paper, whatever, right?
It's a point.
Exactly. Yeah. But no, that's something that we live by here. Absolutely. Whether that's talking to our clients, whether that's peer-to-peer communication, whatever it is, that's something that we truly believe in here. Is positively impacting people's lives. So I was on board from jump because of that reason. And so my goals, right, and my beliefs align with what Apollo was trying to do in the community, and et cetera. So make sure whatever you're looking for, your beliefs and your goals align with that organization.
That's a whole podcast topic right there. How to set beliefs and how to set goals.
Yeah, we might talk about that. But
for real.
Yeah. It's
I'm gonna piggyback off Mark a little bit because the biggest thing about beliefs and goals is like, obviously you have to set them yourself. Goals are one thing. You can use negative energy to fuel your goals, but don't ever take negative energy to fuel your beliefs. Because the biggest thing that, like I said earlier, like with my brother, right? I could have took that in 2 ways. I could have took that and went nowhere near this company because he said I would never be successful. Yeah. Or I could have turned it into what I had and turned it into a goal. To piss him off.
Prove him wrong.
And also to prove, just to prove to yourself, right, you were right all along.
Like that at the end of the day, like goals are something you can fuel from negative energy.
Absolutely.
Beliefs have to come from within.
I like that.
And within from a company.
I like that.
So like, it's one of those things that's like, you have to sit down with yourself, truly. Yeah. And you have to come to sense, and that's why we do our whys. Yeah. Because whys are huge. Yeah. There's the things that are going to fuel you every day, especially during open enrollment when we're working 7 to 9, sometimes sleeping in the office because it's so freaking busy. I mean, but that's the thing, though. Like when you have a good surrounding around you, when you have good peers.
Oh, man.
those nights are so fun.
Yeah.
It's literally like you're a little kid and you're having a sleepover with your best friend and you're just sitting at work. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. It's weird. That's why I enjoy open enrollment. It's crazy though.
It's a fun environment. It's a fun time. And when you are chasing an ultimate company goal together that everybody believes in, it's pretty powerful.
Well,
It's
'cause
inclusive.
nothing's going to stop it either.
Yeah.
Nothing's going to come.
Because you're not the only person that's got that thought.
Right.
Nope.
Everybody.
Everybody's got that same thought.
Nope.
So that's the part that's really, really exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
What else? What else you got from a growth perspective?
I mean,
Or
just
questions that you could ask me.
I was going to say, just from my perspective, because I've only been here for 2 years, right?
Yeah.
My perspective, I mean, when I came in, we had maybe 40, 50 agents, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're over 100.
Yeah.
And we have an entire new office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's just crazy. Like,
It's been completely renovated.
literally in 2 years,
Yeah.
we went from 40 agents to over 100 and a whole nother new office.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, talk about rapid growth.
Let's clap that up. Let's clap it up for that.
I mean,
Absolutely.
that's crazy. And like, I mean, I can literally think about yesterday, like me and Rod's talking, man, you know, this money, this sucks. You know, when we were early on, we're like,
Yeah.
how are we gonna live off this? You know? And then we're talking to the leaders, and they're all making. We're like, okay, it's gonna be there.
Yep.
You know, you just gotta work.
It's coming.
Yeah. And so, like, I don't know, rapid growth to me is like I've witnessed it.
Yeah.
Yep.
But honestly, I've just been going with it. That it's hard. Like now, sitting back and looking at it, I'm like, damn, that was actually very fast.
Yeah.
Like you don't realize it when you're on board
Yeah.
because you're just moving with the movement.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like you're just there doing what you're told.
So it's so crazy when you say that. Like I look back at 2 years when you guys started to where we are today, the amount of changes we've had as an organization, the things that we've done, the new things we've implemented. And the one cool thing that I love about fast growth is that it opens up other opportunities for people like you guys to step into leadership roles and to do different things within a business that maybe you wouldn't have at another company or a Fortune 500 company. Nothing wrong with that. Once again, I always tell people there's nothing wrong with those other options. Like a Fortune 500's got different experiences for people than what we could ever produce.
Yep.
But hey, one of the advantages of going to a smaller business that is on a rise, or a smaller business that is growing a ton, where you're in the first 500 employees, is that you could have a massive impact within that business.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And so you kind of control your own destiny in a way at a business that can really feel the impact.
Yeah. I mean, and it's just like, I don't know, going off what you said, like under a 500 employee company, like especially this one though, I think this one's different because our culture here is just vastly different. But just the family aspect, you know what I mean? Like every day you walk in, it's family.
Yeah.
And like the biggest thing, the difference for me, going to college, playing sports, everyone did not like the head coach. That was a thing because they were always mean to you. They didn't ever really encourage
They didn't
you.
care.
Yeah.
They didn't care.
They always preyed on your downfall.
Yeah. Do your job or get off. Get out of here.
And so I was always timid when my coach came around. And so I brought that here when Scott would come around. But now it's like, he's just another person.
Yeah.
Like he literally wants you to think he's just another person.
He wants you to win.
Literally. And so that's what's like not being fearful when Scott's around. Like that's I guess that's the biggest thing for me.
That and like what you were saying is you know that he wants success and you to win. So I think from just a belief goal, I mean that's leadership 101, right? Is you want to be able to lead from the front to show people how to do it, get it done. I always call it this is a whole nother podcast topic. But one of my favorite things I always talk about that I learned in my MBA was trench leadership.
Okay.
You're in the trenches leading from the front rather than leading from the back. You know, when you watch movies and you see the king on a horse or whatever,
in the back.
He's in the back with a horse and he's just watching all of his people in front of him just absolutely get annihilated. He's standing in the back.
Yeah.
I call trench leadership trench warfare. You're in the trenches,
Front
line with your people. And if you're not willing to do that from a leadership perspective, then why are you leading? You know what I mean? And so I think that that's a whole nother thing that you could 100% talk about on a podcast is why is an organization fast or growing or why do people believe in the overall mission statement? Well, it's a lot of times I know from our leadership perspective, it's because we're in the trenches with everybody.
Correct.
Right.
I mean,
Absolutely.
you know what I mean? If you're leading from top down and you're just talking down onto people all the time and just telling them what they need to be doing, but then not reciprocating or showing them the value of what you're saying by doing it yourself,
Right.
then people are going to be like, man, that guy he's just all talk.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
He's all talk.
There's
He's-
no vision.
He's not willing to do what I'm willing to do.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So why should I do it?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
And regardless if they did it before, the new guys in don't know that.
Correct.
Exactly.
They've never
saw
seen it.
Yeah.
They've never
So
seen it.
they're not can take your
That's
word
why.
for it.
That's why I love. Recently, Jared and I we've been doing some trainings with the brand new class, and it's been a while since I've done some training. And so the 23s. So we call all of our new classes for those that are out there. We call them their year that they start. So we got 21s, 22s, 23s from 2021, 22, 23, and then all the way back to 2019. So the 23s, we've been spending specific time with them and showing them, talking about closing, how to close, what to say, different things that I learned when I grew up, because we all have different values or different aspects of the business that we can provide value from.
Yeah.
And so that's been really fun. Is to
Yeah,
go
because
back
you and
to-
Jared are polar opposite when it comes to
Oh yeah, straight up, which is super important because
Yeah.
I feel like I'll resonate with part of the class.
Yep.
Jared will resonate with the other part of the class.
Absolutely.
because not everybody's the same.
Yep. That's why I always like listen to Saf and Ginsky because they are total opposite.
Exactly. So,
So-
I think that's another thing is from a leadership perspective. We used to be an organization prior to 2019. You probably don't even know this. But our organization used to be teams. So think of it this way. Let's say you were a junior partner.
Right.
You used to have Talbot's team, meaning you had 4 agents underneath Talbot. It used to be Mark's team. And then he would have 8 agents under Mark.
Right.
But then you wouldn't train Mark's people because that's not your team. You're only going to train Talbot's team. Mark's not going to train your people. He's only going to train Mark's team because that's Mark's team.
See how that's wrong.
So then,
I see.
and we used to do this as an
Right.
organization. It was a flaw that we wanted to fix prior to 2019. So we created one team,
Right.
the Apollo team,
Which is good. Yeah.
because our leadership team felt at the time if we could bring every leader's core responsibility or their value that they could add to people. Like, once again, I may resonate with you, Talbot, and
Right.
what I'm training on, but who knows? You may not resonate with Mark.
Right. Right.
So if I as a leadership team or I as a leader could have the impact of 15 people
Right.
rather than one person,
Right.
how much stronger are we as an organization?
Absolutely.
So that's why we changed the
That
complete model.
also leads to rapid growth.
Yeah.
If you think about it. Changed it in 2019. Now we're in 2023. I mean,
Yep.
Absolutely.
So
Warranty.
yeah, it's just a lot of fun. So I share those little tidbits of things because when you think of businesses or hierarchies or different
Right.
things like that, that's a very common practice to have specific teams within an organization, especially sales organizations.
For sure.
Yeah. I think
So I think that's unique.
I think it is. Another thing that's unique is the whole topic that we're discussing now. I mean, rapid growth is unique. That's not something that you just come by or everyone experiences that opportunity in regards to a business. That's not how it works. Rapid growth is something that's unique, and it's some tools behind that pushes that machine. With that being said, we can have rapid growth, right? Now, how a question that I posed to both of you
Okay.
in regards to rapid growth, how do you maintain, maybe not rapid growth, because again, rapid growth is unique, right? So you're not going to maintain rapid growth. I don't think that's possible.
Nor would you want to, because
Right.
if you stay constantly on this rapid growth train where
Yep.
you're 400, 500, 600% growth every single year, it's unsustainable.
Yep.
Right.
You'll it's kind of like you're on a shopping cart or some type of bike,
Right.
and you're rolling down the mountain going 95 miles an hour.
You're
like
gonna
just
come up.
well, just the wheels itself
fall
can't
off.
keep up.
Yeah.
They would literally fall off, and the
Right.
bolts would start to fall off, and the screws would begin to fall off. It's just not sustainable long time,
for sure.
long term.
And that's what I want to get, and that's what I'm getting to for the viewers. I think that growth and rapid growth is fantastic, and that's what we've been able to experience, and that's good. We want to keep growing, but we want to grow healthy, right?
Yeah.
So there's a happy medium there.
I guess I could share as an organization what we focused on the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Because I will say that we haven't had 400% growth the last 2 years.
Yeah.
We've had growth.
Yeah.
We've had good growth, but I feel like it's not been rapid growth like it was in 17, 18, 19, 20, 21.
Yeah.
22 and 23 had been growth years, but we have focused more on client retention and client implementation of technology.
Right.
So as you look at organizations, in Cardone, I'll shout out Grant Cardone because I think they do a really good process of implementing where at in different revenue cycles of a business. Like once you reach $10 million in annual revenue dollars, from $10 to $20 million, that's what's called the implementation of technology stage.
Okay.
So for us, we're right in the middle of that. We're at roughly $15-16 million in annual revenue.
Right.
So what we have done, in my opinion, the last 2 years, and you've probably seen this since 21.
Yeah.
What have we implemented?
Well,
Technology.
I was gonna say a lot
Follow-up technology,
Yeah.
email marketing, text
Texting.
messaging, SMS, you name it. From that perspective of implementation, those different pieces, it's super important, which helps client retention.
Absolutely.
Because at the end of the day, when you have a rapid growth company and you're flying by the seat of your pants some days, because that's what it feels like.
Yeah, absolutely.
You aren't always doing what's best or being the most. I think, in my opinion, when that happens, service comes down a little bit. So I think some of our clients probably didn't experience the best service. And what I mean by that is they were sold the right plan, but there was the follow-up service, the customer service portion, I think, lacked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They maybe didn't have as much communication from our agent or from our team on a timely basis or a continual basis.
For sure.
And so we've made a very big process the last 2 years. How can we get better at that? How can we still continue to stay top of mind to our client, meanwhile not pestering them?
Yeah.
There's a fine balance.
Absolutely.
Very.
You don't want to be constantly sending them emails because they're going to be like, man, why is this guy always sending me an email or a text? This is annoying. To, man, I never hear from my agent. Who's my agent's name again? You got to find that right balance in between the two of those. And I think that's 100% technology.
Absolutely.
Because I think it's unsustainable when you have 40,000 customers.
Yeah.
It's unsustainable to try and do that manually.
Yeah. No, absolutely not.
So
I think
Even
That's what I would
per
say.
agent, I mean, when you're up to 300, 400, 500, 600 clients, I mean, that just takes up too much time of the work.
and you could see what's crazy, and a lot of people don't understand this, but you'll get it once I say it. But the government has forced us into 45 days, not business days, total days, from November 1st to December 15th. They've forced us and millions of Americans around the globe, or not the globe, but in the U.S. to sign up for health insurance.
I mean, just make a decision. I mean,
Correct. And so, like, when it's November 30th and you're talking to a consumer, the reality is you can't take the hour that it takes
Absolutely
to cover
not.
any and all options. You sometimes have 12 and 15-minute conversations.
And I think that's the biggest thing is sometimes they think we are either disrespectful, and that's not at all what we try to do. We're just trying to optimize our time to get to the next prospect as well.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Because we're trying to help as many people as we can.
Yeah, just think of it this way. There's 330 million-ish people in the U.S. I think there's roughly 40 million people that purchase individual health insurance through the marketplace. So that's 40 million people that have to sign up in 45 days. That's almost a million people a day.
Yeah.
There's not enough brokers to service that.
I think
And that's the
Definitely not
biggest
enough
challenge,
phones.
I think.
Yeah. Not enough hours in the day either.
Correct.
yeah. I think the most important thing when we talk about, I mean, you think about all the episodes that we've done thus far, and what we talk about, whether it's, hyper growth, whether it's technology, whatever it is, it comes back to one thing, right? You can't have hyper growth without people believing in what they're doing, mission statements by the company, right? You can't do certain things. So it comes back to people in the organization. So
Absolutely.
100%.
you got to have good people on the team. You got to have people that believe in what they're doing and want to help people and want to be of aid. And so it all comes back to that.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, this has been great. We got another one coming soon.
We do.
We got one more toast in it. Well, maybe not. He look at the glass. He's already finished it.
Hey, how about you? Just
He
have
knows we have one more to go,
just pour it. Yeah, pour it.
and he does that.
Go faster. Yeah, pour it out. Okay.
All right. You ready? Let's close it out.
Hey, whiskey for the souls.
Insurance for the wallets.
Cheers, guys. Appreciate it.
Until next time.
Thanks for tuning in.